An Apex woman accused of leaving puppies in a hot car on a day with record heat. Why, she's telling WRAL those dogs were never in distress. Then, only on WRAL, inside the courtroom, where a man pled guilty to murdering his 2 roommates. The outrage from the victim's family during sentencing.
I'm tracking who could see pop-up storms this afternoon and an even better chance for rain at the end of the week.
Now at 7 and new tonight, we are hearing from the woman accused of leaving several puppies in a hot car in Apex with no AC or windows cracked, temperatures soaring above 100 degrees. She's facing 7 counts of animal cruelty. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Ashley Rowe.
And I'm Dan Haggerty. Here's another look at the French bulldog puppies that were inside of that vehicle. Investigators saying that they were struggling to breathe when they found them and that one was unresponsive. WRAL's Julian Grace is live now after speaking with the woman who is accused of doing this. And Julian, give us an idea of how she's rationalizing all of this.
Well, Dan, as you know, there's 2 sides to every story, and tonight we got Whitney Johnson's side. She's from New Jersey, and she's the owner of those French bullies that you just saw right there. She's been a breeder for 5 years, and she says this is not only an investment for her, but those dogs are her babies. Here's some pictures that she sent to us earlier this evening when we talked to her via Zoom. Now, she tells me the dogs were in the car outside of the first watch, but the climate was controlled. She says the air was on, a fan was placed inside, and the temperature was set to 89 degrees, a temperature she says is required for the puppy's health and wellness. She says when officers arrived, the dogs were not in the car because they were being bathed because some of them had pooped on themselves. Now, she says the officers never asked her for a statement. They just took the word from a bystander. Now, Johnson also shared over and over in a very emotional interview that these dogs are not only an investment, but she takes care of these puppies around the clock.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That is an investment for me. So I don't know why anyone would think I would throw my investment in the trash.
Now, we can tell you those puppies are currently with the Wake County Animal Shelter. There were a total of 7. Currently, the shelter only has 6. One of those puppies has been euthanized. Now, coming up all new tonight at 10 and 11, you'll hear more from Johnson, and you'll hear specifically what video she says would clear her. Also, you'll hear from the Apex Police Department on what they have to say about their investigation. All of that is all new tonight at 10 and 11. Reporting live in Apex, Julian Grace, WRAL News.
Absolutely. Boy, a lot of questions still there. Of course, why did one of the dogs die if they were never in danger? A lot more from Julian tonight at 10 o'clock and 11. So we're keeping an eye on the radar across our area. We could see some showers and storms pop up, and this is not the only thing, the only day, I should say, that we have a chance for some rain this week. Lots of that this week. Meteorologist Kat Campbell in the WRAL Severe Weather Center to explain.
We have a really good chance for rain by the end of the week, so good news there for us. In the meantime, it's just some of these hit or miss summertime storms. We do have some development, though, right around 540 here in the Triangle, and up to the north, some lightning closer to Roanoke Rapids and Lake Gaston. Rain falling right now around Wake Forest, the north side of town, 540 and Capitol Boulevard, seeing some rain right now, and a few spotty showers just west of the airport that are kind of dissipating. One new developing shower on the north side of town in Apex, and some storms moving out of Warrenton into the northern part of Franklin County, and then here are the showers and storms around Roanoke Rapids. The thing is, these storms really not moving. Once they pop up, they just kind of ran themselves out in the same spot. So I wouldn't expect them to really move from one city to the next. If anything, maybe one neighborhood to the next. But as we move ahead this week, we've got much better chances for rain on the horizon. A 70% chance of rain Thursday night and an 80% chance during the day on Friday. It's all thanks to this front. We're not likely to see direct impacts from Beryl, but I'll track them both coming up.
All right, Kat, thank you. A man convicted of killing his 2 roommates in Franklin County will spend the rest of his life in prison. Today, Christian Webster pleaded guilty to 2 counts of first-degree murder in the deaths of William Hume and Matthew Johnson at their home in April. Police say Webster expressed wanting to harm people since he was a child. WRAL's Destiny Patterson joining us now live. Destiny, you were in the courtroom for this emotional case.
That's absolutely right, Ashley. There were multiple moments when the family was handed tissues. You could hear sniffling during the testimony from witnesses, but it was really during the victim impact statements when that grief was really palpable.
This book right here explains justice. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, blood for blood.
Anger trembled through the voice of this grieving father
Burn in hell.
as the man who killed his son left the courtroom to spend the rest of his life in a prison cell.
If somebody's a vicious, heinous murderer, they deserve to be murdered themselves.
I cannot imagine his grief and what he must be going through right now. The legal system does not fix everything.
Webster lived with William Hume and Matthew Johnson, who were in a 5-year relationship. The prosecution said Webster attacked the couple in their home using their own guns. They say Hume was also stabbed.
Are you in fact guilty of both of these counts of first-degree murder? Yes.
Webster agreed to a plea deal, 2 life sentences without the possibility of parole. A forensic psychiatrist acknowledged Webster's long history of mental illness.
Much deeper seated and much more dangerous and much more ominous psychopathy, which is this, they just don't emotionally attach to other individuals in the world around them.
A detective said Webster admitted that he had a yearning to kill.
During the interview, multiple times Mr. Webster expressed that he had been wanting to harm people since he was a child.
Just before the double homicide, Webster was charged with discharging a weapon in city limits. He was held for a psychiatric evaluation for less than 24 hours.
And part of that time was spent with him sobering up.
Matthew Johnson's mother says he shouldn't have been released so quickly.
There are evil people. There are evil people among us.
Johnson's family says that they were okay with today's outcome, while Hume's family says that the death penalty would have been justice for them. Both of these families agree that there need to be mental health reforms, and they could have saved their children's and loved ones' lives. Destiny Patterson, WRAL News, Franklin County.
That is a lot of grief for those families. Well, the alert on your phone this morning turned out to be a false alarm from the Harris nuclear power plant. People living nearby heard the sirens. This is the text message that came 30 minutes later. Duke Energy says it was a mistake. There was no emergency. People living near the plant asked WRAL why it took so long to send that text after the siren sounded. They weren't sure if they needed to evacuate. Wake County Emergency Management tells us that it takes time to coordinate, ensuring the alerts are accurate.
The worst thing that we can do in a situation like this is provide inaccurate information because we're trying to get something out the door quickly.
Duke Energy says the plant is operating normally and they are investigating why the sirens went off. They'll continue with a previously scheduled siren test on Wednesday.
A car crashed into a WakeMed urgent care on Fayetteville Road in Raleigh. Look at where the vehicle went right into the windows there. WRL Sky 5 was over this scene as EMS crews responded. The sedan crashed through those windows. Police tell us the car hit what is a classroom inside. No one was injured, fortunately. The driver did have some minor injuries. They're now charged with failure to reduce speed. The urgent care is closed until further notice. New at 7 o'clock, the battle over who can manage the state health plan has been decided. Aetna will take over third-party. Questions about Joe Biden's presidency and his candidacy now don't just affect the race for the White House. The race for president, of course, can sway who wins many of the other races on the ballot as well, especially in a closely divided swing state like North Carolina. WRL state government reporter Will Doran joins us now. And Will, wondering how are Democrats here in North Carolina reacting to some of these questions about whether or not the president should stay in the race?
So publicly, all of North Carolina's most influential Democratic leaders are backing President Biden. But behind the scenes, there's definitely some anxiety. Over the weekend, Democrats in the state Senate called an emergency meeting. They were speaking about Biden and how it could affect their own chances of breaking the Republican Party's veto-proof supermajority at the state legislature.
That supermajority, again, they use that to override any veto that they don't like that the governor puts in place here in North Carolina. How close, though, is that margin from Republicans losing that power and Democrats gaining some more?
So Democrats only need to flip one seat in the legislature to break that supermajority. And doing so could, of course, give them a lot more negotiating power over state policy and spending. But there are only about a dozen or so truly competitive seats out of 170 total. So Democrats worry that if Biden supporters stay home, that could hurt their own chances this year in those competitive legislative districts or in the governor's race.
What about any worries when it comes to Republicans? You know, Donald Trump, far from a perfect candidate. We know that. He is a convicted felon now in New York for falsifying business records. He faces other ongoing criminal trials. Are Republicans concerned what that might do to their ticket in general?
So Republicans have really coalesced around Donald Trump. You won't hear calls from party members for him to drop out like Biden is facing from some Democrats. But polling does show that around 5% of North Carolina voters are undecided still. And so Democrats will use Trump's legal issues to try to convince those remaining undecided voters to vote for Biden. Republicans, of course, will continue hammering Biden's age, his debate stumbles. Whoever wins those undecided voters, they'll influence not just the race for president, but many of our other elections on the ballot this year.
A lot at stake here. Will, thank you so much. And for all of our state political coverage, you can visit the NC Capital section of WRAL.com or hop on the WRAL News app.
And if you're interested in visiting the state capitol building, it's back open to the public after more than a year of renovations. The outside of the building was repaired, including replacing copper on the roof and dome. The work also included an HVAC system update. Visitors can take self-guided tours Monday through Friday from 9 to 5, Saturdays from 10 to 5, and then free guided tours are available from 11 to 1 on Saturdays. A downtown Raleigh restaurant is closing its doors this month. Plates Neighborhood Kitchen says its final day will be July 28th. The restaurant opened in 2013 and just 2 years ago won Open Table's Diner's Choice in the Best Overall category. A post on Instagram says this isn't goodbye. We just have to go away for a while and dream it all up again. It's unclear what's next for the spot along Glenwood Avenue. A new all-time travel record was broken this July 4th holiday weekend. The Transportation Security Administration, TSA, says it screened more than 3 million passengers for the first time ever yesterday. People flooded checkpoints nationwide heading home from Independence Day trips. Hurricane Beryl's impacts led to some travel troubles, although thousands of flights were canceled today and yesterday. Meteorologist Kat Campbell joining us now. Kat, you've got some beautiful satellite image behind you.
I do. We've got a good ISS pass coming up tonight. So you got to check this one out. It's going to be worth checking out because it'll pass for 6 minutes. So a nice long view. Look outside at 9:35. It'll be moving from the south-southwest to the north-northeast. A good time to go outside with your family, get in some science tonight. It should be a nice night for it. We do have partly cloudy skies, but I don't think that should hold back viewing much. Let's take a look at RDU today. No big issues out here. If you traveled at all and your travel plans brought you to Texas, that's where we had all the flight delays due to Beryl, but it's a beautiful evening here at RDU. We do have some thunderstorms around Wake County. These are east of RDU right now in North Raleigh. That's where we've got the bulk of the rain extending up into Franklin County. There has been quite a bit of lightning there in Franklin County and all the way up into Roanoke Rapids. That's where the bulk of the rain is right now. But today, it's just scattered summertime storms. As this front gets here, we'll have a much better chance for rain later this week. I don't expect any direct threats or impacts from Beryl. Ahead of this front, though, we have a couple sources of moisture. We're going to have a flow due to the jet stream from the Gulf, bringing a lot of moisture. And we also have an upper level low offshore that's going to bring more moisture into the area as well. And that's why rain chances really go up later in the week. For Tropical Storm Beryl, it's expected to continue to weaken as it moves as a remnant low into the Great Lakes region. You can see this swath of rain from Beryl. It's a pretty sharp cutoff for where the rain is. Doesn't include us here in North Carolina. We've got our own separate moisture sources. So let's track the arrival of better rain chances. For tomorrow, it's kind of like today, just some spotty hit or miss pop-up showers and storms. It's only a 20% chance tomorrow. A little bit better chance on Wednesday again. It's going to be scattered, about a 40% chance. But by Thursday, as the front actually moves in, we'll have a better chance of rain and storms. And that's going to continue Friday because this front gets stuck and it just kind of wavers around a little bit. Friday looks like our best chance for rain. We've got an 80% chance. I'm thinking 1 to 2 inches of rain, maybe up to 3 inches in a few spots, but we need a lot more than a lot more rain than that. Still about a 3 to 6 inch deficit over much of North Carolina. Here's your WRAL Weather Watcher photo today from Holt Lake. Thank you to Rupert Hester for sharing that with us. If you have a WRAL Weather Watcher photo you'd like to see on TV, go to WRAL.com and search Weather Watchers. Submit them there. A very unsettled week ahead. We'll have a chance for rain each day. Some days a lot better chances than others, especially Thursday and Friday. As we get into the weekend, we're likely to heat right back up into the upper 90s. But the one day Friday with the best rain chances, highs may be limited to the mid-80s.
Okay, Kat, thank you.
DPAC is celebrating a successful season. The records they just broke when some of the most popular Broadway shows took the stage.
Chapel Hill's Franklin Street was blocked to traffic today as filming began for the popular TV series The Summer I Turned Pretty.
Behind the scenes was a lot of activity. There was a lot going on, a lot of waiting and watching as well, as you know, that's how those sets work. The main characters in the Amazon Prime series are about to enter college, which is why they're filming at UNC. And some UNC students, like Enid Roberts, is an extra who hopes to become an actress one day.
I'm very curious to see how it plays out. I know there's like a love triangle with, I think they're brothers or something, and the main girl, and she's trying to figure out who she wants, and I know who I personally prefer. And
She's certainly not shy in front of a camera.
Oh, no.
You know, her personality shines through. Maybe she's got actress in her future after all. Crews have moved a lot of equipment around to different parts of the campus to film this story, so it's been busy around there, but kind of cool.
Yeah.
The DPAC just had its biggest season ever, breaking several records.
The staff says the Performing Arts Center welcomed a record 626,000 guests to 260 performances from July 23rd to June 2024. DPAC also had a record number of sold-out shows. This season's lineup included Broadway's MJ, Disney's The Lion King, and Wicked, my favorite show. DPAC also landed among some of the top theaters in the nation in new rankings. So a good year for DPAC. Let's hope another good season coming up.
Oh, I think so. I mean,
it's a great spot.
It is. It's really fun. Durham's a great city to go out and enjoy and kind of build your night around that.
Totally.
Great.
You have a chance to snag some great deals on kids' toys, clothes, and more in Raleigh with the Kids Exchange Consignment Sale.
It started today. It's at the Jim Graham and Expo buildings at the North Carolina State Fairgrounds, and the consignment sale is free admission, but it's going to be open every day, 9 to 6. Through next Monday. So get out there and see what they got. Another animal was born at the North Carolina Zoo.
Winnie is a baby baboon. She's already hanging out in the baboon habitat in the zoo's Africa section. Her caretakers say she will hang around her mom for a while as she continues to nurse and to grow. She's so cute.
Look at the hairdo on the mama baboon.
Oh,
is that the back left?
That's looking good.
Like all poofed up. I don't know what kind of conditioner they're using out there, but
how about the little nose, all the little wrinkles?
Cute little guy. I like their hands because it looks like our little hands, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Very cool.
Thanks for making WRAL your choice for local news.
I sound like I know what I'm talking about. I'm a real biologist
we were really
over here.
swooning over that baboon.
Yeah, cool hands, bruh. Thanks for being with us. Next newscast is at 10 o'clock on Fox 50. We'll see you back here at 11 o'clock right here on WRAL. What a shot of White Lake. Enjoy it. We'll see you later tonight.
Keep watching WRAL News over the air Channel 34 and Spectrum Channel 1257.